But Steve, in that speech, to say my central mission is to restore the economy, is it unfair to say that this is a president whose heart doesn't seem to be in winning the war on terror, no matter what it costs?
No, I think that's not at all unfair. And I think the reason that you can say that is because if you look back at his inaugural address, the key paragraph is the paragraph in which he describes what he called the crisis now well understood. In that paragraph, he mentions in one sentence the war on terror. And then he goes on and gives a litany of economic, domestic policy problems. He talks about schools. He talks about health care. He talks about job losses. He talks about homes. This is how the president thinks. So to a certain extent, there's no question that this was driven by polls, by the potential that people are perceiving him as focused on Afghanistan, or he's talking too much about other things, not the economy. He wanted to talk about the economy. But more fundamentally, this is how the president thinks, for better or worse.
Do you agree with that? I mean, there's a narrative out there, right or wrong, that this is a president who really cares about domestic issues, about domestic transformation, and that to some degree, and look, he has had more drone attacks than George W. Bush did in his 8 years, but that to some degree he views this foreign stuff as a distraction.
You know, I think that he's right where the American public is. I don't think the American public wants to lose the wars in Afghanistan or Iraq, but they are first and foremost concerned about the economy. I think that it's fair to say that his great vision was about domestic policy, not foreign policy. However, since he came into office, regardless of what he promised in the campaign, I think he's acted responsibly and correctly on Iraq and Afghanistan. And I think he will continue to do so, even if it's reluctant. You know, the fact is, as you said, that he's ordered more Predator drones. He ordered a surge in Afghanistan, modeled, as he described on Tuesday, on the surge in Iraq, which he described as successful. He's never going to go far enough to satisfy Republicans and say, I was wrong about the surge and I've changed my mind. But the fact is, he continued the Bush policy in Iraq, and it's paying off, and he's doing the same thing in Afghanistan.